What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Guys, today I'm going to do a recap video of the One Piece booster box deal that I ended up doing yesterday. I wanted to get the video up yesterday night, but I just got home a little bit late. I didn't think I was going to have time to do it, so I'm doing it today. I'm going to go through the boxes that I'm planning to keep, the boxes I'm planning to sell, and then I've changed my mind. There's going to be a third category. I've chosen 3 boxes. I'm planning to open one of them, maybe 2 of them, and then whatever I don't open, I'm going to end up selling. Guys, I do this mainly for investment purposes, and I know this will be difficult for people to believe, but I actually do like One Piece cards. I love the quality of them. The opening experience for me, I'm kind of torn on. Like, I appreciate that you're guaranteed at least a couple hits out of a booster box, whereas in like Pokemon and ETB, whatever, a booster box, you're not guaranteed anything, but on the flip side of that, if you do get your 2 or 3 hits in a booster box and you have leftover packs, there really isn't an insane reason to open those unless there's like some expensive super rares in the set or whatever. So for me, it's a double-edged sword. It goes both ways, but I do like the card quality. I do like some Bandai cards that they put out. Again, that buggy SP, that's kind of why when we talk about one of these sets, as my reason as to why I might be opening it. We'll get to that in the future here. A couple minutes down the road. But first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to overlay some footage just showing the booster boxes that I actually picked up. I'm going to go in no particular order talking about these, so what I'm talking about probably won't match the overlay. But we'll start off with the Blue Bottom Romance Dawn. It's no secret, I've wanted one of these in my collection for a long time. I finally have one. You'll see in the video that the box does have some damage to it. I knew this going into the deal, so it's not like the person was trying to fleece me. This is someone I have done a lot of business with in the past. They sent me photos. I knew exactly what I was buying. I'm okay with it. Again, I would much rather have a perfect minty box, and maybe in the future I will try and upgrade to one that's perfect. I did buy an acrylic case too, so when that arrives, I'll be able to protect the box now. Like, moving forward, it probably shouldn't be in any worse shape a few years down the road if I do decide to sell it. But I'm happy to finally have one. I'm super bullish on Blue Bottom Romance Dawn booster boxes. Every single day, there's less of these in existence. I know it's difficult for some people in this hobby, for whatever reason, to comprehend that there are actually rich people out there that don't mind spending $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 on packs to open. I mean, the hobby fundamentally is gambling, at least like the ripping side of it, right? Maybe not the TCG, but opening packs, it's fundamentally gambling. People are trying to get their top chases. There's enjoyment in that. There's experience in that. And there are people out there that are willing to pay for it. So I'm a huge fan of Romance Dawn, Blue Bottoms, the potential for pre-errata cards as well. Terrific. I'm holding it. If you have Blue Bottoms, I recommend holding them. If you bought a case at release for like $2,000, you haven't sold any yet, like, it would be fine maybe if you wanted to sell like 1 box to get to a 0 cost basis, or 2 boxes, whatever. If you want to keep the sealed case, that's probably a good idea as well. But there's no shame in selling if you want to get your money out of a hobby, or especially a risky investment like One Piece, like Pokemon. I know some people kind of argue semantics when I call these risky. Guys, compared to the S&P 500, buying index funds like VFV, VOO, yeah, investing in TCGs is riskier than that, right? So getting to a 0 cost basis, absolutely fine. Don't feel shame taking profits. That's part of the game, right? Like, you don't lose by selling products for a profit. Either way, moving on, we'll touch on these and try and get through this fairly quickly. I don't want to rant too much. OPO5, I'm going to be keeping this. You guys know, if you're up here in Canada, it's very difficult to find this box at a reasonable price. We haven't seen a pullback at all, even though in the US, Bandai stores have restocked these. We still have to pay a lot. That's why I'm happy to hold this O5 box. Memorial Collection EBO1. I actually believe that this box is going to get outperformed by some of the boxes I'm planning to sell. And I know some people might be confused as to why I would hold a box that I think is going to get outperformed by some of the boxes I'm planning to sell. There's some personal reason that I'm holding this box. I'm not just holding this box because of the value I see in the future. I'm also starting a collection, and I'm not going to talk about that collection right now, but maybe a few years down the road when there's more items in it, then I'll bring it up on the channel, and I think that's going to be a very fun time. PRBO1, this is a no-brainer. This is, arguably one of the best sets, if not the best set that Bandai has put out so far. The Golden Dawns, the manga reprints, etc. Tons of set value there. It's at an all-time high right now on TCG Player, $302, $303-ish dollars. Great hold, in my opinion, at this point. And then Emperors in the New World, probably up there with PRBO1, whether you think they're 1 or 2 or 2 or 1, whatever order you want to put them in. They're probably the best sets that Bandai has released at this point. and you can buy this for like 55-60% of the value of PRBO1. So it's a no-brainer hold in my opinion. You guys know I have 2 sealed cases of this. I wish I bought more at the time when I did buy those, but I'm happy that I have a decent sized position in '09. I'm bullish on it in the future. Now next up, we're gonna talk about the boxes I'm moving. Romance Dawn, white bottoms. I already have a couple of these. I'm still a fan of the white bottoms. I think the blue bottom is better, but I already have a couple. And you guys know if you watched the first video, I spent a little bit more money than I wanted to on this deal. I was kind of doing it, one, because I wanted to get a blue bottom, but two, as a favor to a friend. So for me, I like to have about 5 figures of cash on hand, just in case any opportunity presents itself. I went a little bit lower than that in my cash reserves buying this deal. So I am planning to move some of these booster boxes just to get back to a more comfy level in terms of liquidity. If I had a little bit more cash on hand, I'd probably just hold this extra Romance Dawn box, but it is one of the more expensive ones from the deal. So that's why I am selling it. Paramount War, Pillars of Strength, Kingdoms of Intrigue, kind of the same reasoning here. They're $200 boxes. I actually don't think these are going to do as great as people think they will. They might go crazy though. I could be wrong. Once everything goes out of rotation, maybe these just pop up to Romance Dawn levels. We'll see. But when we look at set value, when we look at the cards inside of them, sure, they might do better in the short term, but long term, when we compare all the sets in One Piece, I just don't think they're going to be super far up there. And for that reason, I'm selling them. 2 Legends, really bad set. I don't like it. Again, if you bought these at $70, $80, great. I mean, you have no downside risk, basically. So I'm not saying that it's a terrible investment at that point. You limit your downside, which is awesome, especially in a hobby like this. But for me, I just don't see it being one of the most expensive boxes in the future or doing super well compared to some of these other sets. I might as well get some of my money back out of it, and that's why I'm going to be selling it. Same deal with Royal Blood. This was a set that I contemplated opening, but I've already opened some OP10. You guys know I pulled the Law manga, so there really is nothing else for me to pull unless I want to try and get like the Whitebeard special rare or the Sanji. This is going to get sold. And then finally, the tin display. I have a sealed tin display, volume 1. These contain royal blood in them. This is a very surprisingly large product. And then also like the outer tin cover is not sealed in plastic. It just has like a few pieces of tape on it. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of that. In Pokemon, they do wraps on like their outer cover, and I think that's better. Just having a couple pieces of tape that you could like unglue and then re-glue, it's not really a great seal. So long term, I'm not a huge fan of these from a collection standpoint. I don't think you're going to get a massive premium keeping these sealed in the future. Obviously, every individual tin does have a seal on it. You can kind of pop the thing up and look, but it's just not a great product, not a great set inside of these. Tins also, just over time, like if they're moving around a lot, you tend to have the cards come out with a little bit more wear, just because like over the years, if they get shuffled around, you have that paper card, you know, cardboard card, whatever, hitting that metal tin, and that can rough up the edges. So I'm not as big of a fan of tins in general, just compared to, you know, booster boxes, and then maybe even like the double packs or whatever, I think would be better than these. So these will be sold, no questions asked. They just have to go. And then finally, the final 3 sets, EBO2, Wings of the Captain, and 500 Years in the Future. Out of these 3 sets, I'm probably going to open one of the booster boxes. I might end up opening 2, for example, like OP07 and '06. '06 has that buggy special rare that I said was a great card, so I figured, hey, like maybe it'd be a good idea to open this. That said, I think '06 is going to do fairly well over the next couple years, probably better than '07, even though '07 surprisingly has been kind of popping off over the past like month or two. When we covered this box back in like April, May on the channel, it was sitting around $106, $108. We're now sitting pretty close to 130, and most recent sale, 134.50 from yesterday, 3 boxes sold. So this box has been climbing. This set and also OP06, I mean, if you guys were buying these at like 80, 90 bucks a year ago, you've made out great. Like you're doing super solid, especially for One Piece standards. And that's awesome. You know, if you get in early, again, like you limit your downside risk, which in TCG investing is a very important thing to consider. But either way, I'm going to be opening one. The other ones I'm going to sell. That's fine. Again, I'm just trying to get my money out of this. But as always, you guys let me know in the comments down below what you think. Would you hold any of these boxes that I'm planning to sell? Would you get rid of any of the boxes that I'm planning to hold? Always curious to hear what you guys believe. With all that said, thank you so much for watching the video. Stay safe wherever you are in the world, and I'll catch you in the next one.